Dear students, today we will learn about migration, its causes and effects. Migration is the history of early evolution. Human beings are used to migrate in the past in search of food, shelter, safety, and hospitable weather. Now we are living in an era of modern technology. So nowadays migration is taking place, but the reason for migration is changed. Now the migration takes place for good education opportunities, for medical facility, and for acquiring employment. So what do we mean? It means that people still move from these for different reasons. But new reasons for human migration are arising, such as job relocation and overpopulation. As you know that we are we are agriculture country, and most of the population lives in urban, in rural areas. So there they have a specific type of jobs that belongs to basically agriculture. So if they want different sort of job, so naturally they have to migrate from their rural area. If we look into the definition of migration, so environmental science define migration in two different ways. The first way, it says that the periodic movement of animals from one location to another. Here animals means the whole animal kingdom. We are also included in animal kingdom. We are belong to phylum mammals. Here we have to mind these words. Periodic movement. Periodic movement means what? Periodic movement means movement at a specific period of time. There is interval of time period in migration. The second definition of environmental science says the movement of a large groups of ethnically similar people from one area to another area. There are different sort of migration that takes place all over the world. The first most important category of migration is rural-urban migration. If we look into the meaning of rural-urban migration, so we will see it's a migration that takes place only from rural areas to urban areas. What do we mean by rural areas? Rural areas means countryside, village. Urban areas, obviously, it means cities. So most of the migration takes place from countryside to cities. We will see the reason why these type of migration is rapidly taking place, not only in our country but all over the world. There is a research conducted in China and in different America, England. So there was a research that says that Chicago grew in population. You remember our last lecture? There we learned about the population increase in population exponentially. So one of the research says that in Chicago the population increased exponentially when analysis was conducted, so researcher came to know that that increase in population was not due to the increase in birth rate of that area, but it was actually the cause of migration. Most of the people from rural areas of Chicago moved to Chicago city in search of basically for employment. But if we look into our country, see, we are living in Karachi. Karachi is an industrial city. So here we are facing the same. Same problem. Here also the population is increasing very rapidly. The reason is obviously uh, Karachi belongs to province Sindh, and most of the people from interior of the Sindh are compelled to migrate to Karachi for basically for best medical facilities and job opportunities. So we can write about our Karachi city also, because we are also in a process of increase in population, and the same reason we have. The rural migrants are attracted by the possibilities that cities can offer. Of course, someone living in the rural areas, he will be attracted by the opportunities that cities can offer them. But what happens when large number of people migrate from the rural to urban areas? So often they settle in slums and experience extra poverty. There was a scientist named Michael Lipton. Michael Lipton in 1980s explained the urban bias theory, which was promoted by him. He said, first I will let you know about his theory. His wording says that the most important class conflict in the poor countries of the world today is not between labor and capital, nor is between foreign and national interest. It is between rural classes and urban classes. Our rural sector contains most of the poverty and most of the low cost sources of potential advances. But the urban sector contains most of the opportunities, organization, and power. So the urban classes have been able to win most of the rounds of the struggle with the countryside. If we want to understand Michael's theory, so we would come to know that he actually defined the difference between poor and the rich. So, according to him, the difference between the poor countries and the developed countries or the rich country is between not between only the labor. The labor means what? uh, persons who work are called labor. Not on labor and capital, but it is actually the difference between the rural class and urban class. As rural class is deprived of basic requirement of life, so they do not enjoy life as urban people could enjoy, because rural areas have short of resources, they do not have education facility, they do not have medical facilities, like they have a specific job in rural areas. So according to Lipton, urban people enjoy the life much more than countryside people. In cities of the developed world, in migration is another important factor. In-migration refers to migration from former colonies and similar places. So in-migration is also taking place. It's another important factor. Many migrants settle in impoverished city centers, forming ghettos or ethnic pockets. Of course, if someone is Muslim, he will prefer to live in an area where he could find a masjid nearby his home. Now, rural depopulation. Rural depopulation. If migration will take place from the rural and to urban city, so what would happen? Of course, rural city will face decrease in population, and that is decrease in population is termed as rural depopulation. So this is the movement of people from rural areas to urban areas that actually cause rural depopulation. Urban population growth is generally far more rapid than total population growth, with about half of the urban growth accounted for by migrants from the rural areas. Well, this phenomena has become more common in the 20th century as urban settlements have become more and more prolific. So there are various reasons that has been cited for this movement. And the first factor is no jobs in the rural areas. There are jobs, but the jobs are specific. Basically, they are related to agriculture. If someone is not interested in agricultural activity, so of course he has to move from rural area to any city, to any urban area. Mechanization. As more machines take over the work on the farms, less work is available for the people living on the farms and for others in the rural areas. Of course, in the past people farming activities basically took place through labor, and people work hard for agriculture activity. Now we have tractor, we have some other facilities, other equipment, machines that facilitate the activity of migration of agriculture in a much proper way. So of course, people, those who were working at the farm, now they become jobless. So they have to move from their area to urban areas. Better farming methods also led to less employment in rural areas as better yields are obtained from smaller areas as new fertilization methods and better hybrids are introduced. Now we have a skilled person that can advise farmers how to produce yeah, better production from small, even small cover area of their farms. Previously, in the past, it was not. There was no such facilities available for the farmers. They have to think themselves how to water their farms, how to improve their farming activity. You know that nowadays the scientists think that there should be rotation of farming activities so that we can produce better yield, better quality of food or crops. Because if suppose if there is a specific area of farm where the wheat is produced, if we will continue to produce wheat for suppose for 5 years, continuously 5 years, so of course that soil would not be able to produce better quality of wheat anymore. Because if the soil analysis is done, we will come to know that there are some deficiencies in the soil just because of the production of wheat for a consecutive 5 years. So if we, instead of five wheat production, if we will produce suppose some other suppose maize, so we will get better production instead of wheat. So these type of information now people can avail. In the past, they were not enough in such mind to think that okay, better production to get better production of farms, we could think in a different way. Now rates of payment in rural areas, you know that Jagidar system, they have their own criteria of payment. Rate of payment in rural areas are lower than those in the city. In the city, we do not have any such conflict. We will get what we work for. A lack of infrastructure in the forms of healthcare and education in rural areas. Of course, in the rural areas, is still we are deprived of health facilities. There is no such. If someone gets ill, he has no option other than to migrate to Karachi city. If we talk about ourselves, likely education, if someone is interested in getting education, so he has only one option, to migrate to urban areas. There is a syndrome called bright light syndrome. Bright light syndrome means what? Young people feel that there is no entertainment or possibility of different career opportunities, so they move to the cities. The young people, they are full of energy, so they want a good entertainment. They think that in the village they have colorless life. So they think that if they move to the city, they will get more entertainment and they will have a good pastime and they will get the better job opportunities. There would be a wide range of opportunities for them. And less money is available in rural areas as highways, bypass, villages, and small towns, reducing the amount of work found there. You know that we are developing day by day. So we have highways, bypass, villages. So previously in the past, when we were not having highways or bypass, so we used a cart. So many workers were required in the past, but we do not need any more workers because we are taking the benefit of technology nowadays. Likely drought or floods, they actually, they destroy the natural disaster, and mostly if we come across with drought or floods, so mostly rural areas suffer a lot because money is lost and the bank loans are falling farmers. The farmers are forced to move to city to get better work and to repay their loans if they get loan from the bank. Acha, the growth of secondary and tertiary activities, more jobs are available in cities in these sectors of the economy. However, the perception of more money is not always a reality. This we have to think about it. As owners die, land is subdivided among their heirs and who find that units are too small to be economically viable. One family member will buy up the land and the rest of the family move to the city. This is a specific scenario. If it's assumed that if there is a there is an area where farming activities is going on, and the owner of the farm dies. So of course, that piece of area would be divided in his inheritance. So of course, the small area would come in on the and people would like to move to some other place to work because the owners also play a vital role in giving uh, in paying farmers a good pay. Who moves from the rural areas? If we think about it, that who moves away from the rural areas? So naturally, young people who think that they have a bright future in the urban area. So the young people, especially males, are the first to move as they are about to enter the job market. They are also responsible for providing for those left on the farms and other rural areas. Older males are often migrant workers while working in the mines, so they are absent from their rural areas. Young females then move out, hoping for a better lifestyle. Many youngsters leave to go to universities and colleges as tertiary education institutes are found only in the urban areas or the bigger centers. In some examples, people have already gone off to a boarding school for the secondary level, as the smaller farming regions do not offer any tuition above the primary level. What are the consequences of rural depopulation? If the rural areas suffer decrease in population, so what would be the consequences of that depopulation? What would be the effect of that depopulation in rural areas? So, in that respect, we came to know that the production of sufficient food for the country is not affected by rural depopulation as more food is being produced as a result of the improved technology, better yields, and overall improvement in farming methods. This has led to more commercial farms that the market oriented being established. What does this mean? This means that if more people are moving to urban areas and rural areas suffer from depopulation, it would not give any negative or adverse effect to the rural areas, because in rural areas, as we are an agriculture country, our economy based on agriculture, so our agriculture economy will not be affected due to the depopulation in rural areas. Why is it so? Because it is only just because that we are living in the era of modern technology. We know how to produce our farming methods using different tools, different scientific methods, taking the advice of consultants that are present to give advice, scientific advice to our farmers. However, as young people have better land, only the elderly and the children are left. So this leads to a deterioration in the farms as they cannot do the heavier work. Of course, young people are energetic, and farming activities need energy. It's not an easy task. So if more young people will migrate from rural areas to urban areas, so in the rural areas we would be left with the women and elderly people and the children. And we cannot afford means that what should we do? We should arrange some facility for the young people so that the depopulation of the rural areas can be it's not. Different types of migration is also taking place, as I told you earlier. Beside rural urban migration, that is the most popular one, and that is taking place more rapidly. But there are some other types of migration also that is being taking place all over the world. So among them, daily human community, like most of people come from Nawab Shah on daily basis to Karachi to work, and they go back sometimes on daily basis, sometimes weekly they go back to their home place. Seasonal migration is mainly related to agriculture. You know that the masses that works in our home during the harvesting season, they all masses left Karachi to their rural areas, the village from which they belong to impart their role in harvesting activity. Rural area. Permanent migration for the purpose of permanent or long-term stays. This is very common. This is very common. Most of our children, our young people migrate from rural areas to urban areas for long term, for getting education, for getting good job opportunities. Local migration is also taking place. Rural to urban migration more common in the rural areas. common in developing countries. That we fall in this point because we are industrialized city and we are observing rural to urban migration. Rural to rural migration more common in developed countries due to a higher cost of urban living. You know that in developed countries, if we talk about America, if we talk about Europe or England city, England, so we will see that to living here cost a lot. Living cost is higher in developed countries. So people think that if they move to the rural areas, they will live happily in a small amount of money as well. And international migration, most of you are willing to migrate to some other country for good, for rising your living status. Is it so? Push and pull factors. Push and pull factors are those factors which either forcefully push someone into migration or attract them to migrate. Sometimes people are compelled to migrate. What do we mean this? We mean this they have no other option to unless migrate. Suppose if someone falls sick in a rural area and he could not find any medical facility or any good hakim in rural area in his village, so naturally he has no other option rather to migrate to any city to get better facility of medical. Okay, a push factor is a forceful factor and a factor which relates to the country the person is migrating from. It is generally a problem which the result in people wanting to migrate. Most of us want to migrate to Europe, to America to rise our living standard and to enjoy good facilities of that is being provided by the government in that area. A pull factor is something concerning the countries a person migrates to. It is generally a good thing that attracts people to a certain place. The push factor like population growth and unemployment and pull factors like opportunities in the urban areas are debated in the studies of India's urbanization. National Commission on Urbanization. There is a commission that was found built in 1988 that is known as National Commission on Urbanization has termed them as factor of demographic and economic momentum respectively. Let me explain you this. What does urbanization means? Urbanization is a phenomena where we observe migration of people from rural areas to urban areas in a huge amount. So, what the Commission, National Commission on Urbanization in 1988 termed that it causes the demographic and economic momentum respectively. Demographic means population. If urbanization takes place very rapidly, so that city or that urban area will suffer from increase in population. Demographic means population. So increase in population and their economic momentum will also be increased because large people will migrate to the urban area. Large job opportunities would be offered to them, and we will get large production in from our industries. If we look only into the push factor of migration, so we see that push factor is poor medical care. As I told you earlier, if someone fell sick in the rural area and he could not get medical facility in the village from any hospital or hakim, so naturally he or his relative have are left with no other option other than to move to the city to get medical facilities. As we are in an experience of observing this in our Karachi city. We have Nijina Hospital, Civil Hospital, Abbasi Hospital, NICBD. What do we see over there? We see large number of people from interior. Large number of people come to Karachi to get their medical facility, and if we ever visit these hospitals, we will see huge number of people sitting in the pavement. This they not only sit, but they just make their permanent site for living. They spread their mat, and you can see their utensils. Everything that belongs to a livelihood could be seen on the pavement of Jinnah Hospital, Civil Hospital. So another push factor is not enough jobs. Job facilities very much limited. Only limited to agriculture activity, and that is in another point, that few opportunities, we are left with only few opportunities in the rural areas. Primitive conditions, political fear. Sometimes, we have a jagidar system, so sometimes people get fear from uh, these types of jagidar, and they think that they should find a place where they could get safety, so they migrate to the rural urban areas. Fear of torture and mistreatment. You know that in our country, Jagidar system, they have their own laws, they have their own ethics to treat their employment. So in that case also, people want to migrate to urban area. Not being able to practice religion, sometimes it happens, but in our country, we will not, we don't see these things in our country, because in our country, although we are Islamic Republic of Pakistan, but we allow everybody to feel free to practice his religious activity. But in some countries, if we go through the world history, so there are still some areas in the world where people could not enjoy their religion practice freely. Sometimes loss of wealth. Suppose a farmer farm is get destruction for any reason, and he has no money to regrow that farm, so naturally he has to move to the urban area. Another thing is very much important, and that is natural disaster. Natural disaster, although it's not in our hand and in no way we can control it, but we do suffer from natural disaster. But in cities, we overcome this disaster with the help of science and technology. But as rural areas are deprived of these technologies, so they suffer a lot from these natural disasters, and they are also not left with any other option rather than to move to the urban area. If we look into the pull factors of migration, so chances of getting a good job, a better job, better living standards, education facility, better medical care, security, and recreation and family links. We have better entertainment facility also in our city. If we ever get experience of visiting any entertainment areas, like as I have near my locality Aladdin Park, so if ever I get a chance to go there, I will see. I could see only the people from interior of Sindh visiting there, and their faces are very. I can see their smiling faces. They enjoy the visit of Aladdin Park a lot. And if we look into the effects of pull and push, so effects permanent move to a new location. Migration is a complex process that can be produce profound changes for individual and society. Of course, permanent changes causes a long-term effects. Changes in population distribution. Changes in population distribution what? As in Karachi, it is said that we have a large population of Karachi. So that population is not just due to the people that are born in Karachi and that are living in a Karachi from at least from a century, but most of the population comes from the rural sides, but what happened then we face a large population distribution. So that's why if we look into the census that was done in 2016, we will see that population is very much high in Karachi city in respect to some small cities like Faisalabad, Sialkot. We have large number of population living in Karachi. Another effect is the mixing of different cultures and races. Of course, in Karachi, you know that we are a mixture of different cultures and races, different types of people, different people belonging to different races, different religion are living over here. What often leads to negative social behavior, tension in a society between majorities and minorities, followed often by local struggles and racism and racial discrimination. Last year, Asia Masih's case. I think you all remember now Asia's Masih's case. What happened with him? He belonged to Christian community. She belonged to Christian community, but you know that being an Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Chief Justice did a fair judgment with her, and now she's living very happily with with her family. So it's also part of the mixing of culture. We enjoy our mixed culture activity, mixed religious activity in our country. Now you see in Guru Nanak is in Lahore, so most of the Sikh came to from India also, not only from Pakistan, from India also came visit Pakistan to visit their temple, and you know that our government support them a lot. Also, growth, growth of can be caused. Criminality can also be caused because, as you know, that our Sikh brothers visit our Guru Nanak in Lahore, so we provide full security to them. Government arrange full security for them. Government arrange they are proper. They arrange their way of living in their they the stay of their pilgrimage is all supported by our government. And on the first day, any official government official visit them just to make them happy. But effects in different societies can be different. You know that as we belong to Islam, so we follow the pathway of our holy prophet, peace be upon him. But this is not the habit of all different societies in the world. It is possible also some positive cultural effects of migration. For example, exchange of culture experience, new knowledge. Demographic consequences say demographic consequences means what? The effect of population. Since migration is selective of particular age group, as we discussed earlier, that mostly statistics shows us that mostly young people are in habit of migrating from rural areas to urban areas. So migration